Hello. Oh, two people there eager tonight. Look, there's four of them. Sarah, good evening, and young William, good evening.
Hello, everyone in the chat.
Well, everybody in the chats.
Well, we're back to normal. 2024, Dan. How's it been so far?
Yeah, all right. Pretty much like 2023. I hope it don't end like 2023, please, God.
Eric's here.
Hello, Eric. Hello, Jay.
Hi, Eric.
Hiya, Bill. What, Bill?
Hi, everyone. Right, so we're back to normal-ish on the spooky show with Viv and Dan.
The ish bit. I like the ish bit.
Yeah, well, it's always ish, isn't it?
It's got to be ish.
It's not pish, it's ish.
Pish, that's Scottish, isn't it, pish? Oh, pish. Oh.
But we are going to be getting some people to interview, but we thought we'd kick it off this year. We're just me and you talking about our highlights and what we reminiscing in 2023 and our highlights and our best points and the people that we've had on the shows from last year who we were blown away with, and you get a kind of job.
Yeah, the general overhaul of last year, a summing up of last year.
I know what Jamie would say. Oh,
I done.
His sick note's been gone for most of it.
He's called me Dun. That's Jim. Hello, Jim.
Dun. Oh, bless him.
So yes. Well, it was. Right. It will happen, Bill. It will. Don't know about this year yet because things went awry last year. So.
And my son only announced a wedding date, didn't he?
Don't drop it on your kids. He's a fully grown man.
Well, but yeah. So come on, let's. Chase.
Oh no, I saw that. Hiya, Nicola.
Hi, Nicola. So Dan, what in 2024 out of all the guests that we've had on
2023 we haven't had anybody yet.
Oh yeah, 23. God, I'm so ill. I can't eat. My brain's not working.
No, you forget what year you're in.
Ooh, he says it's slightly chilly in Florida, but Bobby, I know you're lying. I bet it's not.
Bobby's idea of chili and the British idea of chili are probably two totally different things. I bet it's boiling off out there. Lovely sun, nice weather.
Hope you're well, Bobby. He's a nice fella, isn't he? Hey, Bri! Hey up me duck.
Hey up, Bri. Hey up, lad. Bri, are you at the foot of our stairs?
So what was you going to say, like 2023? 2023. Who was
hi, Rita. Sorry.
Hi, Rita. My sister from another mister.
Your sister.
Yeah.
What are we saying? 2023, Viv. Yes, 2023.
Yeah, is there anyone that stands out that we've interviewed here on Simply Spooky? And do you have? I know you're not supposed to have favourites, but you do, don't you? You get favourites. You can't.
You do. Do you know what? Last year was so up and down for me because of events that happened, not just the end of the year, but throughout the year being rough, feeling rough, and all that. It's hard to remember like most of the people we had on. Because I missed quite a bit of it, to be honest with you.
But we did have Ross.
Love Ross. Ross is probably one of my favourite people.
And we did have David Oman at the beginning of last year.
David Oman's a lovely man as well. Yeah, lovely, lovely chap, David Oman.
I've actually got a list of the guests that we had last year.
David Oman is a stalwart, isn't he? He's one of your firm favourites anyway.
Do you know what?
He's great.
I'd love David Oman to come over to the UK and just go on tour with him.
Yeah.
You know,
he's a character.
But the thing is, you wouldn't have a night that was bland.
Do you know what I was going to say? I think you would need a holiday after spending time with him, because I think he's powerhouse, isn't he? He's full on. He's doesn't let the grass grow under his feet type of person.
But the thing is with him, though, what I like most about David Oman is he's not scared to call people out.
He's honest.
You know,
he's honest. He's truthful.
No pulling the wool over his eyes or trying to. Doesn't matter who you are, if you're a big name or what. It doesn't cut any airs and graces.
No,
It's
if you're
like,
an ass, you're an ass
it's,
to him.
yeah. And
And I
that's
like
what I
that.
like most about him.
I
you
like
know,
that. I like that.
because he even has a go about his ghosts going on holiday.
I know. I know. They've got it in for him, haven't they?
Yeah.
Bry said he was ace. Bry, you're always ace, bud.
Yes. Oh, we're going to get you back on the show, Bry. So we're going to sort that out. I'll send some dates over to you. And Wild Bill is always a scream when we have Wild Bill on.
Yes, let's get Wild Bill on.
Because, and it's something that I like with Bill, is he's not scared to call a spade either.
No.
And
that's what you need, though, isn't it? You need some honesty, and you need people to call it what it is. Do
you think people are too PC and too sort of worried about?
I think people are just right. I don't know. I mean, I think people a lot of them just want a quiet life, I guess, don't they?
I'm just going to Google that, Nicola.
No, Nicola, I haven't seen that.
Hang on. Don't say there's been more shootings.
Well, that'd been over a week. That'd been over a week
ago,
wouldn't it?
A 10-foot alien outside mall in Miami. What police said. An alien? What?
That's the first I've heard of it.
I mean, Mr. Osterfield. Oh no, Miami. Florida's Miami, Florida. That's what I'm right, am I?
Yeah, Miami. Yeah.
Shadow aliens at Bayside Marketplace go viral after a large fight.
Well, the aliens are having a fight.
That'd be funny to watch, wouldn't it?
Well, they've probably been pissed up from celebrating New Year. I'd love to see a load of pissed up aliens bottling each other and pulling knives on each other.
Oh, no, Dan.
That's you fancy some.
Come here and get it.
With their Millwall scarves on.
Millwall?
Fun.
Aliens that support Millwall. Oh, dear. Oh, no, God. Sorry, Nicola. I've just seen it. So I can't believe that. Can you? Really?
No. They couldn't afford to drink. I've had a shave. I had a shave. Very near shave as well, Sarah. I've cut myself in 4 different places.
Oh, dear. So we just look at somebody's. Oh, Eric knows what's happened too. Yeah.
Eric, it wasn't you, was it? You weren't down in Miami pissed up, were you?
I don't think Eric drinks, does he?
Having a punch up with a couple of aliens.
He'd just start the punch up and walk away. Oh, I
can see Eric down to the Miami Mall shouting, coming over here, taking out women and wine.
Poor Eric. Oh, dear.
Yeah, close one as well.
No, it's called he's had a wash. I don't mean that, Dan. You know I don't.
No, she's right, though. To be honest, I don't get washed unless it's raining.
Old Taps videos, David Oman. Oh, do you know what? I love, just got to love that bloke.
I've not seen a Taps video for years. I'll tell you what I did notice today.
Oh, Rabsy Nesbitt's in the house.
Hey, Rob, how you doing, bud? I'll tell you what I did notice, actually. I noticed today, which surprised me. It was a New Year's greeting from Yvette Fielding on Facebook. And
really?
She put up some photos of her and the team. And they're quite a packed stadium, which surprised me. Because I thought, surely people ain't swallowing that old shit still.
Yeah.
But apparently they are. People are obviously more gullible than you'd imagine. But, yeah, they're still trying to sell a dead horse, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because nobody's, well, apart from those, there didn't seem to be many people that are interested.
No. Police are blaming kids, but it's not police are covering it up. And so William, my brother from another mother, William, is saying that they had the same thing over there with the alien thing and Spooky Wayne.
Anybody think the word of the day is psyop?
Psyop.
Psyop, psychological operation. It's what the government used to wind you up, to get you thinking, oh, well, if you're concentrating on that, it's a magic trick for governments. If you're looking over there, you're not looking at what's going on over here.
I'm looking at that picture Bobby's used.
What's his name?
Uncle Fester.
Yeah, what's his name? Lloyd.
It's
Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd.
That's really Eric.
It is Eric. I love Christopher Lloyd. Hi, Wayne. How you doing, bud?
All right, Wayne.
Oh, that is cool, Bobby.
That's all right, Bobby. When me and Dan come over, we'll have a barbecue in your front yard while we're watching that stuff going up.
Yeah, we'll knock out any aliens that turn up.
Yeah, we'll punch them right on the nose. Yeah, no, I agree, Bri.
Yeah, AI's getting out of hand, isn't it? Yeah, psyop.
I think that's what we're going to have to call Bobby from going forward, Uncle Fester.
Yeah, definitely. That is cool, though. Watch rockets come up from your yard. That is amazing. That's like a dream.
It's more of a boys thing, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's phenomenal. Watch it. It'd be amazing. I know you see people on these RVs. They rent them or they live in them. Don't they? Not live in them. They drive up and they park them up. They get onto the roof and they watch the rockets take off. Amazing.
Well, what's the difference from being on the floor, on ground level, and being on top of your RV?
I suppose you got your platform, haven't you, really?
Platform for what? You're going to see the same thing.
Get pissed up and fall off.
Crikey. Oh, God.
Fester. So I look like Uncle Fester when I've got my head shaved.
No, you're Colonel Sanders.
I'm Colonel Sanders.
But you've got that bit going on.
Now. Oh, what did you nickname me years ago? It stuck for quite a while. Oh,
Pugsley.
Pugsley. Pugsley.
What, Pug?
It's Pugsley.
I've got a picture of Dan as Pugsley. If anyone wants to see it, just let me know. I'll send it over to you.
You got to stick it up there somewhere.
So like we got on to David Oman last year, but for me, it's a standout moment is talking to Steve Mera.
Steve Mera's a very, very more clued up than most.
Oh, yes.
Because I think that Steve Mera has got a knack of looking beyond the obvious.
Yeah. I mean,
and so has Barry has as well. And I think the pair of them together are quite a phenomenal force.
Well, Steve Mera, for me, last year, I mean, remember we had, well, what people in the chat wouldn't know is that we have conversations in the studio. So before we go live and even afterwards. And some of the conversations with Steve Mera, they just blew me away.
Yeah.
I mean, and Dan was sitting on the edge of his seat. I could see he was getting really excited about it all. And he gave me a lot of food for thought, basically. And then when I went to his Awakening Con, you know, I thought, oh, it would just be UFO. With a name like Awakening, it's like, oh, it's going to be them UFO mob preaching all this stuff that, oh, God, they've been watching too much telly. But honestly, it was not like that at all. I mean, he had some guest speakers that I don't like. I won't pussyfoot around. They do their thing. I respect them for that. But I can't take on board what they're saying.
No.
But there were other guest speakers there that I had never met. I had them on as friends on Facebook for a long time. And to actually sit and listen to them and to talk to them one-to-one and to see them. Now, you're going to think I'm crazy. Like, I've met a lot of people in my time. Some famous, some not. Some that like to be famous. Some that you wish you never met. But at that Awakening Con, I'd met these people that were just like normal human beings, like me and you, Dan, like a bit of a laugh, a joke, but they've got their serious side. And when I met, and I talked about the Kinsella twins yesterday, they made my weekend meeting them. And I met them because I was introduced to them by Steve. And they made the whole weekend. Of course, like Barry and Donna, I know them personally. So
they're nice anyway, aren't they?
it's always nice to catch up with them. But yeah, the Kinsella twins really, really made my weekend. And it's so much so that the whole convention itself, I'm going back next year and I'm dragging Dan with me, whether he likes it or not.
No, I'm going. I think the thing I liked about when we spoke to him last time was the fact that I'd got this sudden dawning, this realization that hit me that, hang on, what you're seeing isn't what you think you're seeing, and what's going on is not what's going on, and everything has got it's interrelated on some level, but it's probably rather than many things pulling the strings, there's one thing that's ultimately pulling all the strings on all the paranormal and supernatural stuff that's going on. Oh, that's a possibility. And are we being played? And then when we spoke to him, he had the same. It was like, oh wow. So he thinks exactly like we do then.
Yeah.
So but from that perspective,
he got more technically involved in it
because he's clocked on a lot way before I did about what was going on, or his train of thought went down that route way before mine did, and I'm sort of catching up with him now. I'm thinking, hang on, this isn't right, and there's something not right. But anyway, getting off of that, he is an amazing fella to talk to, and the beauty of Awakenings is nobody's knocking anybody from the ufology or from the cryptids or whatever. Do you know what? Because one person's got a theory, doesn't mean that person's right and the other person's wrong. And that goes for me or anybody. Because I've got a theory, it doesn't mean my theory's right. It could be completely way wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Steve, you see, we call him a parapsychologist, Steve. And if you ask him, are you a believer or a non-believer? He said, I started out as a non-believer. But the thing is with Steve, is that, and I couldn't believe when he told me, and I don't know if you guys know, but he went over to Ireland to visit Barry. And Barry took him out for the day. And he says, oh, I'll take you to a place where the rocks actually sing to you. And he thought, what? Rocks singing to you? He said, yeah, cliff face. He said, they sing to you. There's nothing the other side, no cave, no nothing. It's just sheer rock. And he said, yeah, it's like Barry's off his head. He said, and he took me to this place. He said, and I stood next to the rock. He said, sure enough, I could hear them singing. Do you remember when he was explaining that? For the life of me, I cannot fathom what that is about. Is it the earth talking? Is it ley lines? Is it the grounds moving? What the hell is that? That really sparked me.
I've got a question for you, Viv. When was the first realisation in concrete that you thought, oh shit, this stuff's real?
What do you mean?
Rather than researching it and going along and experience, like we all experience things.
Yeah. And
we see things and what have you. But when was the first thing that you saw
along this train of thought?
Fuck, this is this is real.
Along this new train of thought was when.
No, sorry, not this new train of thought. I mean, like overall. I mean, you probably had it quite young, didn't you?
3.
Right.
3 years old.
I experienced something when I was a kid. Still questioned the truth or the reality behind it. Knew that it definitely happened. But my first, I suppose, I don't know. There's many things that happened, but I think the first thing that threw me was Codmore.
Really?
With that woman singing. And that was
because it was nice.
For some, it was lovely. But that was the first time I think where I thought, oh shit, there's more to this than.
Yeah. Well,
than I think.
But the thing is, though, Dan, as a kid, when you're seeing and experiencing, your mind is too young and inexperienced and still growing that you don't understand it. You don't know what it is. It's very frightening. You get that. I remember getting that, the heckles and feeling scared and screaming for my mum. All that. I remember all that because I didn't know what it was. But when this man when I thought he was going to step on me, actually,
Walk
I thought he
through,
was going to
didn't
hurt me. He walked straight through me. And then seeing him, he actually looked at me and smiled at me. He saw me, but still went through me. It's like, when I think back, like as an adult now, I know you could see me.
Yeah.
You acknowledged me, and yet you
It-
still went through me. That's
it-
quite a nasty thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what it is. You know, I think the thing is that the as a kid, the things I saw, I knew it was real because of what I'd experienced. I think, but then realizing it again, like a reevaluation, I guess, of when you're an adult and something like happened, you think, oh shit, I knew it was real, but I didn't know it quite this real. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just odd. I can't really put it into words, really.
But then, Dan, you know, when you can converse with them and communicate with them, and that's how my mediumship is working. I'm now questioning, well, what the bloody hell is all that about? Don't get me wrong, I'm still a medium. I still interact and I still talk and I still have all of that. But I'm getting this, like, this little thing in the back of my head. Am I being lied to? Are we all being lied to when it comes to mediumship? What is that about? I mean, I work with a guide, Dan. And my guide, I absolutely adore him and I love him. And I trust him. Should I not be trusting him then? Is that what? And I've had this guide all the way through my life. And
no, I think if they're there for your benefit and they're there for your good, they want you to question it. They wouldn't want you to take them full face value. I think they would want you to question it because they want you to feel comfortable in the things that you're practicing or the things that you're doing or you're experiencing. I think if they don't want you to feel comfortable, if they get annoyed that you're questioning, then I don't think they're necessarily the right. Then you're on the wrong path.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I guess they want you to, but it's really weird, and it's like I guess like these what would you call it, like ball bearings fall into place.
Yeah.
We get a bit of reality, and then all of a sudden the ball bearing will fall into place, and it's like shaking something up, thinking all these different thoughts, and then you stop, and then in the solitude, in the quietness, all of those ball bearings then fall into their respective, points.
Dan,
Oh, you Ben.
I've just got to share something with you, Dan, and I'm sure that Bobby won't mind me doing this.
Has he got that? Where is it? I can't see it.
It's on your messenger on Facebook.
Oh, is it? I'll have a look in a bit.
It's Bobby being Uncle Fester a few years ago. Hi, Ben. Sorry, I missed you. Sorry, Ben.
Happy New Year, Ben.
Happy New Year to you. Oh, so that was a big highlight for me last year because I actually learned something new and I met a whole different caliber of people. It sent me down the cryptid route even more, a lot more. So much so that I want answers now. I want answers, and I've been looking at stuff and looking at gigantic. What's it called? Gigantica.
Oh, Gigantus
Pithecus.
Pithecus, yeah.
Whatever you pronounce it, it's a Pithecus.
Gigantic. Yeah, gigantic Pithecus. Yeah.
Gigantica Pithecus.
Which is an interesting subject in itself, isn't it?
It is.
It came out. It came out the other day, apparently, that I'm trying to think of the name of the big American museums. The
Smithsonian.
They did get a load of them giant bones.
I told you.
And they did destroy them.
Yeah.
They did destroy them. Somebody doesn't want you knowing about your history, do they?
And I tell you who else will have some of those. The Vatican.
Yeah, I'd like a day down in their vaults, wouldn't you?
I'd like to be locked in for about 6 months.
Oh, could you imagine the stuff you'd... Some of the stuff I've heard they got down there sounds mental. Apparently there's a machine down there. Now, obviously, it sounds bizarre and fantastic, and it may very well be that. But there's a machine down there they can view through time with.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, somebody came out, a whistleblower came out a few months ago and said that they've got a machine in that Vatican, down somewhere in that Vatican, in the vaults, wherever, that they can view time with. So they can view the life of Christ, and they can view past that and way beyond that, and they can go back as far. So yeah,
Crikey.
there's something definitely, suspect
Off.
going on there, isn't
Yeah.
there?
I was watching, because you said to me, I'll watch this on Netflix, Viv, or watch this or watch that. And I stumbled across, and I don't know what it was I was watching, but it was somebody that was going around all these churches that had relics. And we're talking about the relic thing, which I thought was quite interesting. Like, some people really believe in their relics, that if you go and look into the face of Christ that's on this sheet of cloth,
They're toast. You seen those?
Well, not the toast one, but
And a cheese sandwich with the Pope on it.
but what I found really interesting, and I never knew, was the crown of thorns is supposed to be in Paris. Did you know that, Dan?
I have no idea about that.
So
Is that what's going to be, is it?
The crown of thorns is in Paris, in Notre Dame. And when they had this big fire, they were telling the fire crew to go back in and save everything, get the relics out. But they couldn't talk about this relic that they hadn't got, because it's kept in a safe, and the safe is hidden, and you need 2 people to give you the code. So they were saying you needed to find this safe and get them and just save that relic. It doesn't matter what you do, save that relic. And so the police or the fire chiefs were asking, well, if we find the safe, we need the code. We can't give it to you. Well, how can we? They found the safe eventually, but they couldn't get the code. Anyway, they eventually got this thing out, and they showed you what this crown of thorns is that they saved. Even Charles de Gaulle got involved in it. It was ridiculous.
That's over the Nazis were after all of that stuff, when they Spear of Destiny, all that type of stuff, when they during the war.
But apparently, if these relics are so important and so, why aren't they all in the Vatican?
Do you know what I did? Years ago, when I got a job, one of my first jobs when I was a kid, I got a job working at Chase Manhattan up in Moorgate, up in London.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And I got a job there. Eventually, I got a job there. I worked my way up to what they call what is it? Like a planning officer. It wasn't anything. The name sounded a lot more grand than the actual title. Sounded a lot more grand than the job itself. It was basically getting. They move them about. You move them to different floors, and they have the trading floor and everything else. And you get the maps. You get the maps. You photocopy them. Then you work out where stuff needed to be, and then you direct people as to what stuff needed to be put where. And over the weekend, when it's its quietest, but you do it for the week as well. And I was working with a guy who was a dealer from the I think it was the 6th floor at the time, and I remember speaking to him and talking about the Chase Manhattan Bank. I mean, Chase Manhattan Bank is like it's
huge, isn't it?
Global. It's a massive conglomerate. And he said to me, we were just talking. And he said to me, you know, who owns Chase Manhattan Bank Corporation? And I said, well, I assume it's like a massive conglomerate.
Nazi? Is it the Nazis?
No, he said the Vatican own it.
No.
The Vatican own it. He said, in the Vatican, not just that. He went, they own most of the banking systems.
It's just crazy, isn't it?
There's nothing Christian about getting all that money, letting people fucking die on the side of the streets, and just not sharing it, is there?
No. About the time machine, Nicola heard that as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, that, Nicola.
Yeah, exactly, William. It's all just hearsay, isn't it? Until we actually see it, or somebody provides real evidence of it. Ooh, let's go in that warehouse and have a little nosy.
Be good, wouldn't it?
That'd be good to get in, wouldn't it? Hi, Christine!
Hey, excellent, Christine.
Happy New Year to you, my lovely. Oh, we love Christine. She's a hard-working lass, she is.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine that, Jason?
Trying it on. Oh my God. I think it's surrounded, it's got some perspex around it. It's got gold leaf on it now. And it's yeah. I think it's unfair what they do to people. The Vatican worked on Germans.
Yeah, they did a lot of dodgy stuff during World War II.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I think it does, William. But from what he was saying, it wasn't general knowledge.
I bet you would, nice. You dirty git. So I'm only joking. Yeah, that's it.
On Queen Mary in California. That must be a prostitute out there.
Yeah, called the Queen Mary. Looks like it's in a tube of glass. That's right. It's like a perspex. It's in a perspex thing and all decorated with gold leaf on the outside. And yeah. Oh, bless you, Christine.
Oh, bless you, Christine. Oh, they still going, Jason. Didn't they get done for ripping people off?
What's that other one? Hardcore porn. Have you seen that one?
Oh, that's the Jewish guy, isn't it? He's got the... Is that the one?
He's got his son, a daughter working there, and people...
The son and daughter can't stand each other, can they?
And they have to have security because the people that come in and pawn stuff want to fight everyone.
Isn't that in Detroit? That's in Detroit, I think.
Detroit, yeah. It's funny. I think I watched it the other morning and somebody was rolling themselves around in the floor mat and just screaming. It was just... It did make me laugh, though.
The human race are fucking weird, aren't they?
It's inside a mountain.
Wouldn't surprise me. Nothing surprises me.
William's been on the Queen Mary, I think. Yeah, we're talking about the boat now, not Jay's fantasies. Not you, William. I mean, Stan being a prick.
It means me, yeah.
In Detroit,
yeah, Detroit, yeah.
Oh, that porn stuff. That hardcore porn's funny. It is funny.
I used to like them. What were they? The couple of guys that were, I think they fell out actually. There was a couple of guys called Mike Wolf and I can't think of the other guy's name. Mike Wolf and I can't think his name. But there were a couple of pickers. So what they used to do is they go around the state.
Yes.
And they would buy up really, really good it was. But then they had a falling out. I don't know what happened, but it all went west. They do, Christine. They do own a lot, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I missed some. I haven't seen a good drag queen for a couple of years now.
We haven't mentioned you once, Eric.
Who's Frank?
Oh, did he die?
Is that a hardcore porn guy?
Frank, the little guy with the beard and moustache. I did not know that. Oh, that's a shame. I know he wasn't well, was he? Or I'm not sure. Frank Fritz, that was the guy. That was the man. That was the fella. Frank Fritz. I did not know. Oh, bless him. I didn't know he passed on.
Can you imagine, as a paranormal investigator, going in there saying, how much would you offer me for my ovulus? Ovulus. How much would you pay for me for my ovulus?
I had a heart attack, says Eric. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, what a shame.
That's the hardcore porn guy.
No, that's the guy. They were pickers. I think it was called American Pickers.
Pickers, yeah.
They're a really good program. Really interesting. So I used to buy a lot of, which I used to find interesting. They used to buy a lot of folk art. So I think a lot of it was they got like people. I mean, they had these. Oh, amazing!
But
They
didn't
were
they rip
amazing.
people off? Because the guy would say he'd want X amount of money for a sign saying Shell Motor Oil, and then they'd spot a put, and he'd say, "Oh, I want $300. No, I'll give you 60. You're gonna make some money, right? $300 to 60 is a big difference."
Yeah.
And then they'll spot a push bike, and the push bike's worth about $1,000.
They do a
Well,
bundle.
I tell you
Yeah.
what, if I buy that and the push bike, I'll give you the 300. And it's like you're ripping guys off left, right, and
But
centre.
then they also did one where a guy had a theme park, well, like a little old theme park, and it was like a mom and pop theme park, like a little small thing by the side of the road.
Yeah.
And the guy had they put all their money into it, his family, and I think it got flooded or something. And they bought this stuff off of him, and when they got this stuff appraised, and sold it, they got a fortune. So they felt guilty, so they did go back and give the guy money. So, yeah. That's a shame. Danielle, the girl, yeah, she's gorgeous. Beautiful woman, beautiful young woman. Danielle. Yeah, I liked her. Full of tattoos.
So while we're doing our highlights of 2023, is there any other highlights that you've got? Not just from the show, but anything that really stood out for you last year?
I think last year was a bit blur, to be honest. That's the one. That's it, Terry. They're the ones. They're the ones. Yeah, it was a bit blur last year, really.
We lost some really good people. Famous people. We lost our Queen. God rest her soul. Which was quite a sad time. I did shed a few tears for her. I won't lie to you, Dan. It did upset me.
Well, but the thing is, it's all we've known all our lives, isn't it?
Yeah, we've known no different.
We were born, haven't we?
Yeah, and I enjoyed watching The Crown last year. I know some of it was made up and some of it's not quite right, but watching The Crown and seeing the adaptation of her in her younger years, I think she was played by an actress called Claire Foy. So seeing her playing the role of the Queen when she was younger, and the stories and some of the stories I do remember, that the bit with the elephant.
Yeah.
So we know that too. But that was quite good. Seeing that and thoroughly enjoying it. And while we're on the subject of television, I finally got to watch Stranger Things last year. Did you? Yes.
Are you right up to speed on that?
Yes.
The last series, I watched the first two and I just couldn't get into it.
I found it hard at the beginning, but you've got to sort of go with the flow. It's a bit like Game of Thrones.
I watched both. I think is this the third series, wasn't it?
I'm up to speed.
I watched the first two series, then I watched 2 of the episodes of the third, I think. Yeah. And I just couldn't get into it anymore. And it fell by the way.
The other one I enjoyed was watching Wednesday, and actually physically seeing Nevermore Academy for myself when I went.
You did, yes.
I went to Transylvania and we drove past Nevermore. They go,
that's
look,
cool.
It was just an amazing experience. So doing the Transylvania thing, not just once but twice last year, because we went to Transylvania on a whim, and then ended up spending my anniversary in Whitby to do the other part of it.
You were all vampired out last year, weren't you?
Oh, all vampired out. I can't do any more vampires.
All vampired out last year.
Yeah, I think this year will have to be a zombie year.
You got to change, yeah, or a Frankenstein year or something.
Oh no, Frankenstein would mean Germany, so I'd have to wait till next year.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm all vampired out. Yeah, Eric says.
What's Eric said? Sorry, where is he?
Stranger Things was brilliant.
I just couldn't get into it. The last series, I just couldn't get into it. I might give it another go. Maybe I weren't in the right frame of mind.
But you know what I found was quite sad was when at the end of the year, when on certain things that you see on the television box, they always put a montage of all the people that we lost in the year, and it went through all the actors and actresses and the TV personalities and things like that. And there were some actresses that I saw come up. Now, for the life of me, I couldn't tell you their names, but I used to sit and watch them as kids. I remember her in that program, and I remember that and that program, and I thought it was quite sad because, to me, what that was telling me was, Viv, you're getting old.
You're getting older. You're getting older. Yeah. Yeah, it's that. Yeah, I thought that they did a thing. The people that what was it? The celebrities we lost in 2023.
Yeah.
And I look at the roundup. Looked at it just showed up, and I looked at it, and I thought I didn't even know half of them died.
No, I didn't.
Remember them, but I remember them as kids. When I
Yeah.
was a kid. And it's like, wow, it's like how quick the time goes, you know. Which is,
do you know what?
Frightening.
I'll say it here and now, and touch wood, it doesn't happen, but I've got a sneaky suspicion it might. And I hope to God it doesn't. But when Sir David Attenborough does pop his clogs, I'm going into a morning official. We'll have to do a David Attenborough thing on here and just talk about David Attenborough non-stop, because to me, he is our nation's sweetheart. He is our darling. And he's brought a lot of education and even some of the world's pollution to us to do something about.
I met him once.
Did you like him?
Yeah, lovely. He's just like a little old granddad.
He's like everyone's granddad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's lovely man, really nice guy.
But, my friend, my best friend, her dad was a glazier, and he had his own business. And
he died this week, didn't he? Talking to glazier, David Soul.
Yes, he did.
That really shook me because I loved Starsky and Hutch as a kid.
I wasn't a David Soul fan. I was the other one.
Michael Glazier, wasn't it? Yeah. Is it Paul Michael Glazier?
Paul Michael Glazier, yeah.
Yeah. He had a rough deal, that poor sod, didn't he, through life?
Yeah. But yeah, he was a glazier, and he got called to a house in Sheen to sort out the windows in a certain part of this house. And he knocked on the door, and this lady answered the door, really lovely lady. Oh, yes, she said, I've been expecting you. Come in. My friend's dad's called Fred Bradley. Come in, Fred, like I've been expecting you. And she showed him in, straight into the kitchen. She said, my husband's not here. She said, he's left me in charge. So do you want to start with a cup of tea? So they had a cup of tea together, and he noticed that through the house on the ground floor, there was like a run, like massive run.
Oh, yes.
From one room right the way through to outside and in the garden. And he said, what's that about? She goes, oh, they're his babies. She said, don't mind them. She said, they might come in and make a bit of a noise. She said, just ignore them. She said, they won't bother you. They would keep them in the run. And he said, while he was set about his business doing his work, these two giant land tortoises just coming through the run, two of them. He said they were massive. And then he said he put two and two together, like he was at Mr. Attenborough's house, and his name was D. Attenborough. And then he turned around and he said, are you David Attenborough's wife? She said, yes, dear. Yeah, you know. He went, like the David Attenborough. She went, yes. She said, that's why we got the tortoises. She said, sometimes they go on loan to zoos and things, but she said, they're here with me. And he went, oh, I thought so. I didn't like to say. He said, my claim to fame was I put the windows up in David Attenborough's house.
I got booked, but his nephew booked me to do an animal talk.
Did he?
His nephew booked me to do an animal talk, and he said he wanted it done for the. I suppose it would be David Attenborough's great niece and nephews.
Yeah.
This guy was his nephew, and couldn't find kids more uninterested in animals if you tried.
Really? I
Couldn't
suppose
give a
they've
toss.
had it all their life. They've had it all their life, haven't they?
Couldn't give a toss. Not remotely interested. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
which was odd because like normal, ordinary kids, they love it. But yeah, it's strange, isn't it? How things
I suppose if
but
you have it all your life and you're seeing it all the
it just
time,
becomes the
you get
norm, I suppose,
bored.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really. But couldn't believe
Where'd
where
you
are you?
go then?
You
Where'd you
went there as
go?
well. David Soul, can you believe that?
I know. Oh, Karen. Hello, darling. Happy New Year to you.
Hi, Karen.
That's another lady that's very impressive. If you ever get the
Yes.
chance, see what Karen's doing and some of her work. She's an amazing woman. She says, I'm
Hello,
nobody
Andy.
special. I'm nobody
How you doing,
special.
buddy?
But yeah. Andy Gresham. Hello,
How
young
you doing,
man.
bud? Happy New Year to you. To everybody, I haven't said Happy New Year to.
Oh dear.
Oh,
So
hello,
yeah.
Terry. Sorry, I just noticed you there, bud.
Terry's been in for ages, old Tel.
Oh, young Terence.
You call him young Terence, I call him
Young
old Tel.
Terence.
Old Tel.
Terry Two Willies, you called him, didn't you?
Terry Two Willies.
Terry Two Willies.
I don't know how that come from. No idea. It
But
just
yes,
goes.
it was a bit. I don't know. Last year was a bit. It was great. You know, most of it. But I guess it's like every year, isn't it? You get your ups and your downs. You get your good. You get your bad.
Do you think it was weirder than when we went through lockdown last year? Compare that to the lockdown year.
Can I be completely honest?
Go on.
I think lockdown has affected me.
Okay.
And I think it's affected me from the point where it's made me insular. And it's taken my get up and go away.
But Dan, we were out most weeks during lockdown.
Well, we were out a bit at the end, weren't we? We were out a bit at the end. But I think that what it's done is that it's caused, and I know for a fact that it's caused a lot of problems with mental health with children concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, it has.
You know, and you can see the repercussions of that today. But I think it's that. I mean, the COVID, no, I had it, but that was, you know, had it a couple of times, and that was come and go. But the actual the repercussions and the follow on from the lockdowns have affected me a lot more than I even cared to give thought to.
Yeah.
And I'd be interested to know who else has suffered sort of mental health issues long term because of that.
I've become more aware politically within my own country,
and the manipulation of what's going on, and
yes, of the what's going on in our government. And it's not through being interested in politics or knowing what's this, or, you know, because normally I didn't really care, but I was made to sit and watch those announcements every day at noon from the Prime Minister and from, what's his name, Gollum.
Yeah.
You know, and we were all lied to. Every single one of us was lied to. And it's, even though that government is now, well, the government is still there, but the Conservatives are still in power.
It's amazing, because none of them have already been voted in.
No, but even though that Prime Minister has gone, and we've been replaced with two more since, the Prime Minister that we've got today, and do you know why I'm not even watching the programme on TV, but it's the post office scandal.
Oh, it's awful.
And the lies that are still coming out. And again, it's members of the public that were paid the price. Some people, even with their own lives, the same as COVID, and they're still brushing it under the carpet.
Yeah.
I found that
this government is shameful.
Through watching what went on during lockdown and the lies we were being told. Like, remember, I said to you, Dan, Andy was he got called back into work. And he was going into a hospital that had a COVID ward, and they were saying that the COVID wards were rammed. This one was empty. Not a single patient. Not a single patient.
Another mate of mine works in hospitals, and he went, there wasn't, not like they portrayed it to be. And the thing is, right, that the repercussions of that have caused so much damage, and they're still not being taken to task. And Whitty, the guy that came up, said the other week, I advised them against these measures, but they overruled me, and they forced him more or less to say what he'd said.
Mm.
So it was a kind of, you better fucking do what we're telling you, or you're going to be in shit street without paddle.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the actions, and and that's the thing. And I think that people haven't been taking the task for it.
No,
They need to go to prison for it. It needs to. It needs to. People need to go to prison for it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I can't speak about world governments, but every government we've got here, both sides of the coin, they're all tossers.
They're all rubbish. Dan, I'm going to bring in some good news for you. Well, we spoke about it briefly last night.
Is it something to do with Deutschland?
It is something to do with Deutschland. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So I've got a yes in principle. So I'm just trying to see if they will come on next week.
Oh, bless them. That'd be good.
Next week, we hope to bring you the Ghostbusters of Germany. I'm so excited about Ghostbusters of Germany because we all see Ghostbusters. We all know and love those films. And we see Ghostbusters in America and we see Ghostbusters over here. But we don't hear about it in the rest of the world. No. So I'm quite excited to be talking to these guys. I know it's mainly cosplay and that sort of thing, but we're going to be talking about all things Ghostbusters. So you need to get your toys out next week with Ghostbusters toys. Only
the best film ever made. In my opinion.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I love Ghostbusters. God, I love Ghostbusters.
Do you?
Oh,
is it because you're a ghost hunter?
No, I just love ghosts. I love it. I mean, they're like the four of them are like comedy geniuses. So put them all on one film, one movie, and you got gold, absolute gold.
Do you know what I watched the other night? And to me, it's the best comedy film ever made. For me, is Stir Crazy with Gene Wilder.
Oh,
I love that man.
They walk into the prison and try to be tough.
Yeah. It's like
I'll tell you the film they did that I absolutely loved them two did. When I first saw it, I couldn't breathe because I was like, was the one where they had the hear no evil, see no evil, and one of them was blind and the other was deaf.
That's a bit like me and you, isn't it, Dan?
They were superb, them two. God bless them. God bless them.
I do love the Gene Wilder films. I just think that man was an absolute genius. Gene by name and Gene by nature.
So
honestly.
Funny.
But that's just me. But I'm easily pleased. I don't need all the ghosts and the
pair of them. I love the pair of those two.
And Abbott and Costello remind me of me and you.
Love them as well. And I love the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
I love all that crap. Love that stuff. Proper slapstick.
Well, hopefully next week they'll come on, and we can make all of you laugh in the chat. I've spoken to Dan behind the scenes, and he has agreed to bring Tony Stackwell.
He's coming back.
He's back out of the closet.
He's coming back, and he might very well. He's Tony Stackwell back out the closet. Tony Stackwell back out the closet and in a bedroom near you.
I'll wee myself in a minute. We might even actually try and get him to go on tour and do a little bit of.
I want to do one with Tony Stackwell because I think he'd be up for it, wouldn't he?
Tony Stockwell.
We need to approach him and say, look, come on, raising money for whatever.
Maybe we could do it for children in need or something. Maybe we could.
He seems like quite a nice. I've never met him, but he seems like quite a nice fellow.
Oh, he's so down to earth.
He seems quite a nice guy.
But he's in a lot of demand, Mr. Stockwell.
Yeah, I bet he is.
Not Stackwell, but Stockwell.
Stockwell, yeah.
And he does a lot of good work as well. So,
brilliant.
If you ever get the chance to go and see him. Fully recommend it.
Because it was him, Derek Acora, who passed on now, isn't he? Bless him.
4 years.
Fry, wasn't it? It's
Stephen Fry.
Colin
Fry, Stephen Fry.
God rest his soul, yeah. So it's just him now, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah. But yeah, Derek's been gone 4 years now. 4 years.
4?
4 years this week it was, yeah.
4?
4 years.
Bloody hell, that went.
It seems like only yesterday.
God, that's just flown by.
I know. You know, and my heart goes out to Gwen with Derek, because even though it's been 4 years, she still carries all that pain.
Yeah.
For her, it's like it only happened yesterday, you know.
Yeah.
So,
well, the ones that are left behind have got a limp on, haven't they? Which is awful. Yeah. Sad, very sad.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of the show. We've hoped you enjoyed our mutterings and mumblings and the news that Tony Stackwell is coming out of the closet sometime soon.
We're just chatting shite tonight.
I love our chats, though.
Yeah, it's great.
They are brilliant. And we are back together with Eric on Tuesday on the Things Network. Hi. Oh, Sarah. Oh, bless you. We will
thank you, Sarah.
Sarah, we will get a picture done at some point this year. And we will get them sent off to you at some point. So bear with us. We're very slow.
Nicola.
But
thanks, everyone.
Good night, everyone in the chat.
Night, guys.
Whatever you do, take care of one another and look out and don't talk to strangers, because they're all weird.
Exactly. See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.